everyone. I'm going to take my mask off. First of all, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come here. We greatly appreciate it. It's wonderful to have so many distinguished members of the community to discuss our common goal, homeless prevention. I'm John Boyd, a member of the Executive Committee for the Prospect Hill Neighborhood Association, and I'd like to thank Jessica Garcia she's also a member on the committee, for coming.
Thank you.
She's a volunteer.
Glad to be here.
It's helped a lot. The Prospect Hill Neighborhood Association is very glad to have you here. And some people are just one paycheck away from financial disruption that could eventually lead to homelessness. If there's no support system, homelessness will ensue. So that's where many entities from our local government can help our fellow Americans get back to a point where they have hope. Now, if anybody here needs assistance with we have the SAFFE officers here, and they're here to say a few words. And if you have any concerns at all, they can answer your questions. So I'm going to turn it over here to Officer Gonzalez and Officer Reyes.
Hello, I'm the Central Patrol SAFFE officer in the area. I've been on the department for 12 years, and I've been on SAFFE since May. And we work this area. We've been dealing with a lot of issues that y'all have here. So if you have any concerns, I'll be more than happy to answer questions whenever you, after or now. Yes, ma'am.
I live in the east side, substation. Their state program has been really good. And they've always mentioned to always call back every 15 days. I don't know if it's the same all over the city. That's what my question is. If it's the same to always call 15 days to request a patrol. Is it the same policy everywhere? What
they're doing is usually every 15 days is for a patrol by. Whenever you do make a patrol by for a certain area, high crime area, say you have something that you just want police to patrol the area for high crime, it expires after 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that's why they want you to renew it. That way we stay on top of it and keep attacking that certain problem area. Yes, ma'am.
The east side has been really helpful.
Good.
It was very easy to call them. So I call directly to the substation.
Yes, ma'am.
But I try to let people know from that area it was 15 days. That's why I thought to ask, because we're in a different location.
It's the same thing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that. Anyone else who has questions for the officers, please take them to the side and ask them while we're continuing, and then refrain from asking me questions until after the meeting.
Can I have just a minute?
Sure, Mr.
So
Reyes.
my name is Jimmy Reyes. I'm one of the assistant chiefs for the police department, and I'm here on behalf of Chief McManus. As you all know, community engagement is very important for Chief McManus, and of course, most residents and most neighborhood associations and HOAs stay connected with the department through their SAFFE officers, and they do a fantastic job staying connected. One of the things the chief wanted to do as well too is connect the command staff to the community as well too. So he asked that all members of command staff, assistant chiefs and deputy chiefs, attend community meetings. So we attend either in person or virtual meetings. We try to make one meeting a week. So that's there's a total of 8 members of command staff that are trying to make those weekly community meetings as scheduling permitting. But it gives us an opportunity to share a message from the chief, answer questions if you have any that we can address for you, and again to be connected with the community as well too, and hear firsthand what some of the concerns are. And so I have just a couple items that I wanted to share with you. One of the things that the chief did is he implemented a text notification system, and I'm not sure if you all saw the news story when we rolled out the text notification system. And so really what it does is if you wanted to enroll, it's very easy. You just go to your text app, and then you would type in SAPD to the number 39987. Right? And then so that enrolls you into our text notification system. You could get news, some crime information, know what's going on in the community, in the city. So you can do that. You can do that even now as you're sitting through the rest of the presentation. Just go to your text app and type in SAPD to 39987, and then you'll receive a reply that looks like this on your phone, just telling you that you've successfully subscribed. You can enter your zip code as well too. They'll send you specific notifications for your zip code area as well too. Another thing we always try to promote as well too is our community participation programs, such as our Citizens on Patrol. It's a good way for residents to report crime issues to the police. They attend a short course at the central substation or the substation nearest to them. They'll get a patrol ride as well too. They'll get information in terms of what is suspicious behavior, what should be reported to the police, what could be reported to another city agency as well too that isn't a criminal offense, right? So that or Citizens Police Academy is another program that we always encourage people to participate in as well too. It's an 11-week program, gives you great insight into the workings of the police department. It's held at the Police Academy over by Loop 410 of Roosevelt. So if you'd like to get information on that, you can see one of us after the meeting. And then lastly, I'll tell you, you have another opportunity. I know that there's community budget town hall meetings. There's one more on Thursday. So it gives residents an opportunity to listen to the budget presentation and provide input on that. This year, the department is requesting an additional 12 SAFE officers and 3 officers for the downtown bike patrol unit. So SAFE, like I said, they do a fantastic job of staying connected, but we think we could do more, and that's why we asked for an additional 12 positions. But again, if you'd like to do that, it's online. It's a virtual meeting. Thursday, you go to sanantonio.gov, there's information there. And so with that being said, I'll go ahead and move over to the side. I may have to leave prior to the meeting, but Officer Gonzalez will be here for the remainder if I can't stay. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, contact one of us after the meeting, or you can also call the substation. We'll connect you with the state officer. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Jason Mata, Director of the Advocate Social Services, for allowing us to use their facilities. If anyone needs to use the restrooms, please feel free to use the gym facilities. And we'd like to acknowledge County Commissioner Justin Rodriguez. Thank you very much for coming. And also Jo Estrada, the Director of Community Resources for Bexar County. And a big shout out and thank you goes to Virginia Jimenez, Impact Community Manager. And we'd like to thank City Council District 5 Councilwoman Terri Castillo for sending her staff member, Amador Salazar. And finally, we'd like to thank members from the San Antonio Police Department Safe Unit for being here in attendance. Now, the purpose of this meeting is to learn of programs that help with rental and utility assistance. And we'd ask that you allow the guests to make their presentation before you ask any questions, and that we remain respectful to each other. So with that, I'd like to have Jesse Rodriguez address us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to stand up just so I can see everybody, but let me first of all thank everybody from Prospect Hill for the invitation. You know, I always love coming to neighborhood association groups. It reminds me back when I was a little younger, a little less gray. 2002, I started my service as president of the Jefferson Neighborhood Association. And we know that communities are safer and stronger when we have strong advocates, community members who step up and are part of these organizations. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you all for being here. I'm going to say a few words, and then really I'm going to turn it over to the experts that are here. I've now represented Precinct 2 for a little over 2 years. For those that don't, I know the pandemic has kind of blurred all of our minds a little bit. As a refresher, this was the seat that Commissioner Julie Elizondo held for about 30 years, a little over 30 years. When he passed away, I was appointed in January 2019 by Judge Wolf, and then I was elected to the position, to fulfill the remainder of that term in 2020. So I'm very honored to represent Precinct 2. We have been working on, over the past few months, not just the regular county budget, infrastructure and public health, but really responding to the needs of our community as it relates specifically to sustainability within their household, right? Making sure they have rent so they could pay rent, making sure they had utility assistance so they could, again, have a stable home to come home to, not contribute to we know there's been a homelessness issue that's been exacerbated even before COVID. It's become even more prominent during COVID. And so our focus has been on making sure households are stable, making sure that community members have opportunities to not just get more work, but provide better opportunities for jobs that pay higher wages. And so our team at Bexar County has just done a great job of partnering. I know the councilwoman's brand new, but she's done a great job, and Amador's part of her staff, partnering with us. Precinct 2, for those that don't know, encompasses 5 different city council districts. So I have parts of District 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's a large area representing about 500,000 folks, but the main thing is every step of the way, the county has worked in lockstep with the city to make sure that whether you live in the city of San Antonio, or you're in Balcones Heights, or Leon Valley, or the unincorporated parts of Bexar County, you have access to information and resources to help us through this pandemic. So I just wanted to say a few words. Joe and BJ are here from the department. David Marquez was here as well, but he had to leave. And I'm going to have to step away to another meeting as well. But I want to make sure you know the resources are available so that if you need something, ask us. Please ask us. If it's something the county can't provide for whatever reason, we will make sure we get you in touch with the right department. And I have to mention Lulu Curiel's here from my office. Lulu and my staff, as an extension of me, have the same attitude. Look, we may not have the answer, but we will find an answer. We'll make sure if it's a city resource, we'll partner with the city. And so the main thing is we want to be problem solvers. We want to help our community. And this is part of it, right? Being out in the community and making sure that we're listening. And so happy to take any questions, but with respect to those specific programs, Joe and BJ will be here to answer those questions if you need assistance. So please ask. Any questions? Thank y'all so much. I think I might get a snow cone.
Yes.
Thank you again. I'll be here for a little bit. Yeah.
Second Madrid, County Commissioner. Thank you. Now I'd like to take this time to introduce you to Joe. Joe is going to say a few words. He's the expert. I'm going to stand up as well because Jo Estrada.
I can't focus if I'm sitting down, so welcome everybody. I'm really glad to be out here. I've been with the county for 2 years, and when I started, right after COVID happened. So we really had to adapt to the way that we provide service to our community. We've done many great things, and we just launched an online application for utility assistance, and it's going really well. So what we want to do is provide as much access as we can so that it's easier for our communities to receive services. So several programs that run through my department, utility assistance, so gas and electric. We are partnering with the City of San Antonio with a rental assistance program for unincorporated Bexar County and the 26 cities. And we also have just been notified that we will be receiving funding for water as well. So we're in the works of developing a program, with SAWS. And so we have also in our offices set up a little resource center with computers. So if you don't have access to a computer, or you know someone that needs to fill out an online application and they don't have access to the internet, come to the office and you can use one of our computers, and somebody will be there to help you navigate the online application. It's going to take getting used to because we've been around for over 20 years with the utility assistance program, and it's always been on paper, but we're trying to save the forest, so help us in that effort. VJ has been running the program for many, many years, and she is the utmost expert on assistance, not just utility assistance. My team goes out of the way. We have Patricia and Rachel over there, and they go out of their way when somebody comes in and it says, that they're getting utility assistance, but then they mention that they have other needs as well. They go above and beyond to try to help you meet whatever need that you have. I'm going to let BJ tell you the specifics about all the different programs, but we welcome you to come to our offices at any time. Well, not any time, because we're not there Saturday and Sunday, so don't try to come then. But Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, we'll be happy to talk to you. If you have a different need that you're having trouble locating, let us know. We'll try to help you with that as well. BJ is going to talk to you about our programs now and what you need to qualify. Patricia has a QR code. You can scan it if you're interested in getting the online application right now. The new application, you can do it from your phone if you have a smartphone, and you can take pictures of your documents, upload them straight to the application, and you can sign with your finger if you have a smartphone. So your application can be completely done from your smartphone. But if you don't want to do that and you need a little bit more assistance, please see Rachel, and she can get you started on an online application right now. You'll receive an email where then you can finish the registration at a later time. Alrighty, BJ's going to tell you exactly how to access the program.
Hi everybody.
Virginia Jimenez, Impact Community Manager.
So there's different programs that we operate. So if, again, like Joe mentioned, if it is that you want to speak to Rachel, then you can. The QR code is available also. So if you know any of your neighbors, family that want utility assistance, along with our resource center, then there's also the bibliothèque. There's one right here on Zamora. There's one on Pleasanton Road, and then there's one on East Commerce. So you can also use those computers to access our application. But there's, again, two different programs that we are operating for utility assistance. One is specifically for people who live outside of the San Antonio city limits or the 26 suburban cities. With that program, that income guideline is a little bit higher than the federal program that we have operating, and that's the one that mostly everybody is used to. With that program, we can assist up to 12 months worth of assistance. It is income-based, so all that would be required basically would be your identification, proof of citizenship, and then income for the last 30 days from the time that you signed that application. So we are fortunate enough that we have a link to CPS Energy Portal. So once it is that we receive your application, then we go into the portal so that way we can see what's going on with your bill, how much you owe, if it is that you qualify, how much that we can assist with. We have a great partnership with CPS Energy. So if you are in danger of being disconnected and you contact CPS Energy, then they are also completing applications for us via the online application. For the program that we have for people who live outside of the San Antonio city limits, it's basically the same type of documents that are needed in order for us to be able to process your application. Okay, for rent, like Joe stated, we are partnering with City of San Antonio. So if it is that you know anybody who lives outside of the San Antonio city limits, 26 suburban cities, then they can go into our webpage. It's called Bear County Strong. That also has a link to the online application that Joe was speaking about. And so they can go ahead and complete an application in that manner. It has a link to City of San Antonio. They are administering that program for us. But if you know somebody who lives within the San Antonio city limits and they need utility rental assistance, then they can also complete an application in that manner. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far?
Is there any word about mortgage assistance coming up?
So the City of San Antonio does have mortgage assistance. However, the last outreach event that we went to at St. Mary's University, it's my understanding that the funding has been completed. Did they receive more funding?
Unfortunately, right now, there is no funding for mortgage assistance. The city ran out. But I don't want to interrupt you or anything. Just so you all know, basically, our office is going to be advocating for more mortgage assistance because as it stands in District 5, we have more people that live in homes than renters. Not that that means that renters don't need help. Everybody needs help, especially in the pandemic. But recently ran out, so we're going to try to push our council colleagues to provide that funding because we know that our district needs that.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. So as far as Bexar County, the only thing that we have is rental assistance. And again, ours is for people who live outside of the San Antonio city limits and the 26 suburban cities. But again, we partner really closely with City of San Antonio. So if it is that you're needing rental assistance, please, go and it's an online application. You complete the application, you upload your documents, and then they'll process, and then the notification will be sent to you. So I really, really encourage you to apply for that. Also for utility assistance, it might be that you need to pay something else, and so by us helping you with your electricity, that's more money that you have in your pocket to be able to use for something else. So we strongly encourage you to do that. Anybody else have any questions?
For the water, is that upcoming funding or is that available right now to ask for assistance?
It is upcoming funding. We did have a training today. We should be receiving the contract probably the latter part of October. However, it has to go through a different process. So it probably will not be available until towards the end of the year. But, be on the lookout because once it is that it's good to go, then it'll also be posted to our website. But that is also a federal program, and it is for people who live both inside and outside the San Antonio city limits. So as long as you live in Bexar County, again, it is income-based, so you would have to complete an application. But we will let you know as soon as we find out more information.
And then I just want to make note that CPS and SAWS are lifting the moratorium on disconnections on October 1st. So we did have a meeting with SAWS, and SAWS said that they would not disconnect as long as you paid your current bill. They would work with you on the arrears. So as long as the last bill that you got, you paid, they will make arrangements with you for the arrears. But if you don't pay the current bill and then have large dollar amounts in arrears, they will start disconnecting. So they're going to go through their list. I don't know how they're going to figure out who they're going to disconnect first or whatever. But if you need the assistance or if you know of somebody that needs the assistance,
So that I had asked them about that. They're going by corporate companies first. Residential is going to be on the very last.
that's good. That's
So
good
they're
to know.
doing companies that owe a large amount, then the companies that owe smaller amounts, and then they start doing residential.
That's really good to know. So, but again, if you know of anybody that needs the assistance, then please, give them our information and the information of the City of San Antonio so that we can get the assistance out there. That's what the money is for, so let's use it.
All right, thank you very much. Now I'd like to introduce Amador Salazar. He's representing Councilwoman Terri Castillo from City Council District 5.
Hello, everybody. Like the gentleman said, my name is Amador Salazar. I'm the communications director for Councilwoman Terri Castillo. Like I said, rent and utility assistance is still out there for those that need it. And I just kind of want to re-emphasize how important that is. A lot of people haven't had the amount of work that was available to them pre-pandemic. And aside from that, we have an affordable housing crisis. So these are, things that are very, that I think, aided the councilwoman in getting elected in that, she was kind of speaking to these issues before, they kind of became exacerbated. But the reason why I'm speaking to you all is we basically want to encourage our residents, our constituents to speak up about their issues. And the way we're doing that, so tomorrow we're having an event at Cassiano Park. It's a teletown hall, so there's that virtual town hall that they mentioned. We're going to display it on one of the walls, I think, there at the park. But before that, so that's at 7 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, we're going to do a teach-in. So basically, if you've never spoken in front of City Hall before, that event is going to be perfect for you all. We just want to kind of give our constituents an idea of like, hey, where is City Hall? I didn't know for, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and some people still don't know that. But aside from that, just kind of knowing like how to leave, either public comment via, saSpeakUp.com, or calling, your city council person. We're just going to kind of do a little rundown on that. Aside from that, kind of circling back on the rent and utility assistance, on Tuesdays to Thursdays at our Collins Garden office, so that's our constituent services office, is at the Collins Garden Library. From 9 to 12, we have someone from Neighborhood and Housing Services Department there, and they will walk constituents through the application process. So if you need help with, utilities, that kind of thing, we have a specific person who, that's their expertise. They can help navigate those applications, and they can kind of walk you through, how to sign up. The number for our constituent field office is 210-207-0960. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you call, one of our constituent services people can help with, it doesn't have to be about rental or utility assistance, right? Like if you see like, hey, this street right here, there's a pothole, we're the right people to call. We can, work on your behalf to make sure that, those things get fixed. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I don't think so. But yeah, so Tuesdays through Thursdays, NHSD is at our offices from 9 to 12. Our phone number is 210-207-0960. And tomorrow we're having that teletown hall at Castellano Park.